Hi, everyone. This is Sudha, the Chief Consultant at Proxil. And as you all know, Proxil has taken this initiative to invite experts, leaders, and guests from different industries and disciplines to share, suggest, and support us how to cope up with this difficult situation of lockdown. Speaking of experts, we have an expert in whole brain thinking with us today, Mr. Kalpesh Raichura. Please welcome to the program, Kalpesh.
Thank you. Thank you, Sudha.
You're most welcome, and it's a pleasure to have you on our program. Here's a brief introduction
Thank you.
about Kalpesh. He is an expert with 22 years of experience, and he firmly believes that an individual is born with a purpose. And every individual has a unique USP, and all it takes is to discover it. He's an active listener, a people's person, and also an inside the box thinking practitioner, and he helps people and communities to expand their circles of trust. He's also a certified executive coach, and he is a Herman HBDI certified practitioner. He is a COPC implementation leader. And in addition to all this, he helps organizations over more than 2 decades in business excellence, culture orientation, the executive coaching, leadership development, and most importantly, whole brain thinking. Welcome once again. It's a privilege to have you on our program, Kalpesh.
Thank you so much, Sudha.
Yes. Speaking of being an expert in whole brain thinking, Kalpesh, can you help us all understand what is this concept of whole brain thinking and how do you think a person can think better by understanding this concept?
Sure. Sudha, let me tell you something. Let me share about whole brain thinking. So this is something that was researched and a concept which got developed by Ned Herman during his days when he used to work at GE and used to look after the management development there.
Mhm.
And one of the things that led him to this research is that how come people are good at certain things and they're excellent at doing certain things in their life, but when it comes to a different scenario, the same person fails miserably. How come a person probably is expert in, when it comes to planning in regards to, say, a new project, or really putting their hearts out in making sure that that works well, versus the same person when he has to plan something for his team, or create a culture which is very cohesive for his team to work on, fails miserably.
Right.
And 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 that's what led him into a little deep down on understanding the different ways of thinking, different ways of behaviors that people have. And as we all know, that your thinking is what drives your feelings, and your feelings is what drives your behaviors.
Right.
So there is a lot of study, of course, at all levels, at behavior levels, at feelings levels. But one of the most profound studies has been on the whole brain thinking. So what it basically says is that there are four predominant ways of thinking that people have. And it's a metamorph. It's not a scientific tool saying, okay, you know what, this is how your brain looks like. No, this is a metaphor that your brain of every human being has four different sections. And most of us use one or two or three or four different ways, which is a preferred way of thinking.
Okay.
The beauty of whole brain thinking is that it doesn't come with saying, okay, these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses, this is what is good, this is what is bad.
Right.
It only shows a perspective that, okay, this is your thinking preference.
Okay.
So if I may ask you, Sudha, do you write with your right hand or your left hand?
My right hand.
Your right hand. Now so you're dominant with regards to using your right hand when you write anything, or when it comes to taking notes.
Right.
Now, is it good or is it bad that you're not writing with your left hand?
I would say it's neither good nor bad.
Exactly. So it's a preference, right? It's something that you got used to, and then you practiced, and over a period of time, that's how
Right.
By default, now you pick up, if anybody asks you to make a note, you will pick up your right hand and make a note.
Right.
Now that's exactly how the whole brain thinking evolves in a human being.
Okay.
So all of us develop our thinking based on the dominance, which is, the nature and nurture, basically. So the kind of family you're brought into, the place where you're living into, the school you went into, a lot of these components shape up the way you think.
Okay.
And all all we do during the whole brain thinking process, and I'll share more when we discuss, is to help you gain that perspective that, okay, see, this is how your preferred way of thinking is.
Yes.
But now that you know that if this is your preferred way of thinking and this is the window from where you think,
Right.
you have the opportunity to flex your thinking
Okay.
in given scenarios. So you don't necessarily become a whole brain thinker at all given moments of time, but you can choose to think from different perspectives in a given scenario.
Okay.
That's what makes you situationally whole brain, and you can choose to be a whole brain thinker.
Oh, that's very interesting and definitely informative to all our viewers that there is nothing like right and wrong, but the main idea is to utilize as much as possible in different aspects your whole brain as such. Now,
Yeah.
understanding the fact that there are four predominant metaphors of the thinking styles, would it be possible to categorize the people in the way they think? Does the concept anywhere explain that, or can we understand that?
Sure. So, see, what for an ease to understand, the whole brain thinking has been put into uh, four predominant colors. The first is blue. So what we relate to is a person who is blue has a lot more stronger logical reasoning, is very analytical, wants data, or is more driven by fact based approach. He's very quantitative in nature. Okay. uh, or when I say nature, I'm talking more of that. For his thinking, that's the food. So he'll always want data to make decisions. He'll always be logical in the approach that he takes. uh, so that's where you'll be able to identify people who, where we call them as blue dominant the thinker. The second is a person who is whom we categorize into saying a person who has the preferred way of thinking as green.
Mm-hmm.
Now, green is a person who is probably who's very organized, who is very sequential into his thinking,
Okay.
who needs who is detailed when he's planning anything.
Mhm.
Like, for example, if I say, if we plan a holiday, a person who is a blue dominant would probably think, okay, what is the cost?
Right.
Which are the best hotels from a cost perspective? What is the return of money that we get by going there?
Yes.
Is it better to go by air? Is it better to go by bus? Is it better to go by car?
A
Now,
lot of
this is
planning.
what a blue dominant person will start thinking on the data.
Mm-hmm.
How much kilometers is it? How much time does it take to travel and things like that?
Right. Mm.
A person who is green dominant
Mm.
would start thinking, how am I going to go there? So
Okay.
if I'm going to go there by car, what are the things that I will need to have?
Right.
If I have a child with me, if I have a family with me, if that's going to include 3 meals, then and if I'm going to go in the car, how many bags can I carry? If I'm going in flight, what is the weight that I can? So a green will get into that kind of a sequencing, detailing, planning
Right.
on what needs to be done.
Mm.
Coming to the third part, which is a person whose preferred way of thinking is red,
Yeah.
will be a person who is very interpersonal, who's very feeling based,
Mm-hmm.
is very emotional, is kinesthetic in approach, will start thinking about the care.
Okay.
So, my husband needs so and so, my wife needs juices when she's traveling. My daughter, if she's traveling, she'll probably need a pillow and she'll need some cushions, or her preferred songs that she'll need. I need to ensure that they are taken care of. Or the hotel that we're going to stay, is that comfortable? Will they give the kind of food we like?
Right.
So the whole thought is about feeling, emotion, care,
Mm-hmm.
comfort,
Okay.
and those elements.
Mm.
And the fourth preferred way of thinking that people have is yellow. And where we call a yellow is somebody who's very holistic, who's very intuitive, gut feel, yeah, it will happen. I think this, my inner voice says that no, this will work.
Right.
Or somebody who's very integrating. He can synthesize information, connect the dots very well, and somebody who's very experimental, high risk taker.
Right. Okay.
So these are the four preferred ways of thinking. 7% across the globe, and I'm talking about the database of more than 2 million people who have taken the whole brain thinking assessment,
Okay.
have only one preferred way of thinking. And if you interact with them, you'll be clear that okay, this is, it's like a language. So for example, if a person only speaks English language
Uh-huh.
and somebody comes across to him, speaks in Hindi, Tamil, Tulu, Spanish, German, he still only speaks English. You all make out that okay, this is an English speaking guy.
Right. Yeah.
So these 7% of people are very dominant with only one preferred way of thinking.
Okay.
60% of the people have at least two different preferred ways of thinking. So they may be a combination, say, of blue and yellow, or blue and green,
Okay.
green and red, or any of those two combinations.
Mm.
30% people have three preferred ways of thinking.
Oh, okay.
And there are only 3% people who can think from all angles, and who are experts in thinking from all the four different areas. So that's what the data and research says. So these are the four predominant ways of thinking that people have.
Brilliant. A lot of information, and I'm sure with this deep insight of how the brain is colored, our viewers will be able to understand, or rather identify, which color brain they are, and which is
Yeah,
the prominent, dominating side of their thinking process. And
yeah,
that gives answers to many questions, as why he's like this, why I am like this, why they are like that and not like this. So we're always,
right.
stuck with these questions. So I guess this information gives a lot of clarity. And thank you so much for sharing such valuable information, Kalpesh. Now,
Yeah,
moving on, understanding the current situation, that there is a lot of uncertainty and people are not sure. They're paranoid basically, and they're unable to understand, or rather focus, and even see any hope ahead of them. So we don't know how long this will be and how much it will take away from all of us, or what we're going to get out of it. No idea. People are basically clueless. So considering all this ambiguity which is going around, why do you think
yeah.
people are feeling so negative, and what would you, how would you analyze this entire situation?
Sure. So Sudha, I think the first my first invitation to everybody who's seeing this video and watching us talk about it. Uh, my first recommendation is for them to understand that
Mm-hmm.
probably they're looking at this entire thing from one dimension.
Right.
So when I say one dimension, uh, so we're all looking at this as a perspective that we are locked down, we're staying inside the house, we don't know how will the situation come up, what will happen, 5 days down the line, 10 days down the line, 1 month down the line. But but that's one dimension. Today, for example, if I only change the role, okay, for example, today, not being a coach or a whole brain thinker, if I was a doctor, do you
Mm.
think I even had time today to think about these things?
No, certainly not.
I knew I had to go down on the ground and think, if I was in US right now, where
Right.
there are more than 4 lakh people who've been identified with COVID. All that I had to think was which are the patients coming up, which are the patients who are not coming up, what are the things that I need to do next, which are the people I need to take care of. Considering the scenario in India, for example, there are vegetable vendors, there are grocery vendors who are coming every day in and day out and delivering things that we require while we're sitting in the house. If I, for a moment, change the perspective and think from their angle, or
Mhm.
the security guards,
Right.
police officers,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
the minute I just step out of my perspective or my zone on how I'm looking at life, to move into thinking of different people and how would they be thinking about the scenario right now,
Right.
my perspective will alter. Think about for a moment, step into the shoes of, Narendra Modi, or maybe a Trump, or any of those leaders who
Mhm.
have to make those decisions for the entire country.
Right. Mm.
You suddenly will see a switch in regards to the way you would look and analyze this
Absolutely.
scenario.
The priorities change, the thinking
The
process,
priorities,
direction of the
yes,
focus.
and right, and where I bring a whole brain thinking in this area, and where I've been talking to people, is that, see, all of us have a window, and when I say a window, if I may just show you this one little
Okay.
whole brain thinking.
Mm.
Now, if you see, this is my whole brain thinking. Now, I'm dominant in yellow. I'm dominant in blue. Sorry, red, and my less preferred styles are blue and green.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What we say is a window is that your way of looking to the entire world is through this window,
Okay.
the dimension, because for you, that's how the world is.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the situation is. The invitation is that for this moment, try and stretch yourself. Think of it. For example, you might be a person who likes data, who likes to understand, what's going where.
Right.
Look at all the angles of the data. A data is a data, right? Somebody says, okay, 1 lakh people uh, have expired because of this virus. The
Mm-hmm.
other person will say, okay, there are about 1,35,000 who have recovered from this data,
Yes. Okay.
or from this corona.
Right.
uh, I mean, it's the data, right? How you want to make sense of that will be that this data is available. Now, if you look at it from different roles,
Mm-hmm.
or different ways of thinking,
Mm.
my invitation rather is that, one is about being paranoid, being thinking about what will I do, how will I do.
Right. Mm.
Switch gears.
Okay.
Think about what what can you contribute.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you have the capability of thinking through data, doing the analysis, look at what kind of an analysis can you do,
Right.
which kind of connects the dots, bringing that whole quantitative data or analysis to talk about what are the next steps that needs to be taken.
Sure.
If you're somebody who's very structured, maybe help people in your house, people in your community, people in your office, to create a process and plan out a detail on how they will be comfortable working from home, or how will they support their family, how will they distribute their time, how
Right.
will they discipline themselves.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, if you're somebody who's very caring, somebody who goes with feelings, look at how are you comforting people around you. Talk to people who are low. Talk to people who are uh, who are struggling right now. Talk to people who've not had things that they would want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I and being a little high on red, my thinking generally, Sudha, at this point in time goes on. My first thought when the whole lockdown occurred and 1 week in the lockdown was those beggars who are there on the road.
Yeah.
I am privileged that I can store 1 month of supplies in my house, and be in the house under the lockdown, have Zoom calls,
Mm-hmm.
speak to big people, and be comfortable.
Right.
They don't even have money to store supplies.
Yes.
They don't even have a place to store those kind of supplies.
Yes. I mean, I don't think even storing is an option or a thought. It's more of a day-to-day survival that they're struggling with.
Yeah, and they'll not even have the kind of cash flow that is required. There is no vehicles on the road. There is no people out there to go and
Mhm.
beg and get money from. I mean, I have known people and communities right now who are going out and giving food packets to all these kind of people.
Yes.
And yeah, so if I'm high on that, how can I actually go out and talk to these people, help them? Maybe you can't go out if the lockdown. Can you talk to them? Can you comfort? Can you be inspiring? And I think one of the things that you and your partner are doing, this is one way of contributing.
Absolutely. Yes.
If I can't go physically, I'll contribute in my own way, and that's what you're doing, that spending this message. If I'm very high yellow, can I think of the strategies of of how can we handle this, how can we create this weakness into our strength, how can we look at utilizing this as an opportunity rather than a challenge, and convert that to give us that morale and convert that into making this whole situation look like an opportunity for people to achieve so many things that they've always just been thinking about.
Absolutely. I think that's a very productive and a positive way to go about, and just divert, like you rightly said, Kalpesh, just switch your thought process. And no matter which colored brain that you are, you can make the best of it by identifying your strengths and not focusing or worrying too much about your weakness, because nobody's perfect. But at the same time, we are doing whatever we can in our capacity
Yeah.
to make ourselves grow, improve, and also help the society across. It's like, we need to work together as one. And
Yeah.
that really is the strength that we have to develop at this particular point of time. So that was
Right.
brilliant information and also a lot of suggestions, Kalpesh. We really appreciate it. And I'm sure our viewers will have a lot of value add, because first you spoke about identifying the colors and having known which color and the way you think, the process and everything, what best you can do, having that certain, direction of thinking, etc. So
Yes.
thank you so much for all that information once again. Anything else that
Yeah.
you would like to share, inform, or suggest our viewers, Kalpesh?
Uh, I think, see, one thing which I I always talk to people when I'm sharing is that think of this as this is what it is,
Right.
you know.
Accept.
So as yeah, acceptance. So I've done the inner engineering program with Sadhguru, and I think one of the things that he keeps focusing on, there are two things which I really loved about that course is, one, he says, is the acceptance.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it is, and this is what I have around me.
Right.
So the minute you stand in that acceptance, and not resist anything, not want to, uh, not want to not accept anything. Like you're absolutely in acceptance. It does not mean that you become complacent.
Right.
So that's a word of caution. Does not mean that you don't aspire for change or you don't have aspirations in life.
Correct.
No, it just says that your starting point then becomes a neutral.
Yes. More
You're
open.
not in the negative. You're not in the minus that, oh no, I don't have this, I don't have this, this is not the right situation, this is not how things should work. No, you're
Right.
saying, okay, this is what it is. Now, if this is what it is, what do I do next?
Right.
and and the minute, I think people themselves, in whatever scenario they are and whatever roles they are in, people who are working from home, people who are doctors, people who are police officers, people who are politicians,
Mm-hmm.
and all of them, if they at this point in time just say, okay, yeah, this is what it is, what do I do next?
Right.
And take those steps minute by minute. Nobody knew a corona 4 months back, right, or 5 months back.
Yes.
There was nothing like that existed. Today, look at that one small microorganism which has the capability to bring the whole world of 7 billion people to a standstill.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, but it will pass. We've gone through, right? We've seen riots, we've seen Hindu-Muslim wars,
Right.
uh, we've seen floods, we've seen tsunamis, we've seen earthquakes, we've seen so many different phases and so many different even pandemics before this.
Absolutely. Yes.
And we've sailed through, and that's why we are here, right?
Right, right. We've survived through. So the whole takeaway from your valuable suggestions and thoughts are that we need to first accept and then adapt, alter
Yeah.
the way that we think, be very positive and productive, and do as much as possible in our own capacity to not only help ourselves but others around us. Right?
Right.
Yes. Wonderful. Yes. Thank you so much, Kalpesh, for such insightful thoughts, information, and basically educating all of us, because not many of us know that there is so much of variation in our brain and we can actually master or understand it better and deal with the situation by managing the way we think and the kind of focus and thoughts that we have towards things around us. Thank you so much, Kalpesh, once again.
Perfect. So, while we end, if I want to just take a moment and again thank you and Proxel for an initiative like this, because
It's a
I
pleasure.
think a lot of people, yeah, a lot of people, they're seeking something like this right now.
Mhm.
And all of us have a certain reach. It's. I would like to end with a short story, if you are okay with that.
Yes, please.
Okay, so a short story is that we've all heard about this story, but I would just like to reiterate that there was this one young girl who was standing on the seashore, and there were a lot of starfishes which were being thrown out of the sea.
Right. Mhm.
And what you do is pick up one, throw it back into the sea,
Mhm.
pick up one, throw it back into the sea, and then there was this one man who was walking by and stands by her and says, what are you doing? She's like, I'm just throwing the fish back into the water.
Mhm.
He's like, but if you just look at the whole shore, there are thousands of those starfish out here. How are you going to help all of them? And she's like, see, I made a difference to this one. And
Right.
she picks up one starfish and throws it back into the water.
Yes.
So so and what I'm relating to you is you and your partner and Proxel is making that difference in your own way.
Thank you.
So you're not waiting that, okay, can I go and make an impact to 7 billion people? Yeah, you may not. But you're doing your contribution to go out and make a difference and spread this, spending your time, energy, and money uh, in making this happen. So thank you really from the bottom of my heart for this initiative. Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure interacting with you and talking to everyone about whole brain thinking and how you can use that for your strength.
Absolutely, Kalpesh. Same here. And high regards once again to the kind of contribution that you have been doing across industries and helping people to think better in the right direction. And the fact that
Thank
story illustrates the fact that we need to do one thing at a time, one step at a time, with that strong belief and faith to and positivity that it is going to
you.
happen. And then sooner or later
Yeah,
down the line, we're all going to see the light at the end of the tunnel and sail through this
yeah,
smoothly and beautifully. So, thank you once again.
perfect.
And thank you to all our viewers to stay tuned and listen to Mr. Kalpesh Raichura. And stay home, stay safe as we bring to you the next episode. And take care and see you next time. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.